Hello, folks. My name's Sandy, and I'm an English teacher currently working with iTalki. And I specialize in mentoring students who are going to be trying to pass or get the grades that they want in either IELTS or TOEFL. And I've been extremely successful in helping them. And over the last 3 years or so, I've helped a lot of people get to the band levels or the scores that they want to go and study where they want to go and study. So today's video is based on many of my students. When they come to me, they say to me, Sandy, we've been looking for vocabulary that we need to learn so that we've got enough complex vocabulary to use when we take the test that we're taking. And so on, they said we got more than 500 words and it's impossible. We can't struggle. How can we actually learn the words and remember the words that would help us on the day of the test? Well, I told them the same as I'm going to tell you now. Trying to learn words as words with no real context, just remember the meaning of them, is very, very difficult. Even I couldn't do it if I started learning words, new words tomorrow, then the likelihood is in 5 days I'd have either forgotten the words altogether or I'd certainly have forgotten the meaning or the aspect of the word in question. So it's not easy, but if you learn the words in context, it becomes much more easy to remember those words. And I'm going to show you how to do this now. And I'm also going to give you 10 excellent words, vocabulary that you can easily adapt during the TOEFL or the IELTS tests. And there's a way that I'd like you to learn them, and I'll cover that in the video also. So it's important that you put your mind to this, because it will make your job a whole lot easier when you're taking these tests. So let's get into the video, and you'll see what I mean, and you'll get the idea how to do this essential exercise to help you get the band you want or the score you want in TOEFL, and get the future you want and meet your ambitions and goals. Let's do it. Let's go see. Sorry, just a quick addition before we start going through the learning vocabulary by context. The way I would suggest you approach this is to make yourself up a series of flashcards. And I'll show you an example now, but use flashcards and use them properly and keep them and use them regularly to practice. Take them out, pick the odd ones out, check what you've written on it, check the back to see what it means, etc., and use them, because that you will find that a very big help if you do that fairly frequently, and it will prepare you very quickly and get some very useful vocabulary into your head, ready for what's ahead. Okay, sorry, let's get back to the video. So what's the best way to make up your flashcards to learn these words in context? Well, make your flashcards with the word on one side and the definition of it, and then on the other side, write some two or three sentences with the word in context, and that way you'll learn it much quicker. So let's start with the word ambiguous. What does ambiguous actually mean? Well, ambiguous is an adjective that means that something is not being precise. It is open to more than one interpretation. Something you say might be classified as ambiguous, so you need to give better clarification to show exactly what you mean. Some documents can be ambiguous, that they're not clear in their meaning. Some instructions you may get from when you buy things may not be completely clear how to use them, so they're ambiguous. They're open to more than one interpretation. So that's the meaning of ambiguous. As you see here, the example, the instructions were ambiguous and many students were confused about what they were supposed to do. So on the back of your flashcard, look up ambiguous and write a couple of your own sentences also, just to help you fully understand its meaning. Next we have benevolent, which is another adjective which means well-meaning and kindly. So has good intentions and cares for people or whatever. The example I've given here, the benevolent stranger helped the old woman carry her groceries. We also often see benevolent trusts, which is a sum of money that's been set up to collect money and to help people in need. So they're set up to care for people and help them in financial stress. Benevolent, well-meaning and kindly. So there's a couple of there's a word that would make a couple of good examples. Look it up and write them on the back of your flashcard. Moving on to the word cynical. Cynical. It's another adjective and it's distrustful of human nature and motives. Cynical people question everything. If they think if somebody announces something good to help people or to help the community or something, cynical people will question, is it really to help or is there hidden motives? The example I've given here is the cynical journalist was skeptical of the politician's promises. Skeptical means didn't really trust what was being said. So the cynical journalist, somebody that questions everything, good or bad, with to discover the motives to see if they're negative or not. So another very interesting one that could be used easily in a lot of your IELTS or TOEFL answers. Okay, disparity. Disparity. Now there's a good word to use in IELTS or TOEFL. It's a noun and it means a great difference. There is a disparity. A great difference. The example, there's a significant disparity in income between the rich and the poor in this country. Another one, there is a disparity in what the government says it will spend on health and hospitals than what it's actually spent on hospitals and health. So a great difference. It can be used for many, many things. Another one, research it, make your flashcard up. Excellent. The word eloquent. Eloquent. This is what you want to be in your test when you take your test in IELTS or TOEFL. His speaking presentation was done very eloquently. His essay was very eloquently presented. Means fluent or persuasive in speaking or writing. So the example, the lawyer's eloquent arguments convinced the jury of his client's innocence. Excellent. Fluctuate. To fluctuate. The doctor said his heart rate was fluctuating. Fluctuate, to rise and fall irregularly in number or amount. The example, the stock market has been fluctuating wildly in recent weeks. It's been going up and down irregularly. So, to fluctuate. Next we have indifferent. Indifferent. It's another adjective and it means having no particular interest or sympathy, unconcerned. I'm really quite indifferent to whatever happens. The student was indifferent to the teacher's lecture and spent the whole class looking out of the window. Totally unconcerned, doesn't matter one way or the other. Indifferent. Next we have hinder. Hinder. So what does hinder mean? It means to make it difficult for something to happen or progress. The bad weather hindered our progress on the road. We were hindered getting to the airport by the traffic. So slowed down. This is another easy word to adapt to many, many situations. Something that's slowing you down from achieving what you want to do. Lament. Lament. Sorrow. Lament means to express sorrow or regret for something lost or gone. I lament the loss of my dog that passed 2 months ago. The example, the people of the village lamented the destruction caused by the storm. To be sorrowful about something. Well, there you go, folks. That's the video, and we're now at the end of it. I would just like to say to you, please, 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 follow my advice with the flashcards. Get the flashcard with the word on the front and the meaning, the definition on the front, and on the back, you put your own sentences or phrases that contain the word, and it will remind you the way you want to remember it, so you will remember it much easier. Then occasionally go through your flashcards, pick the odd ones out, look at the word, see if you remember what it's all about. And if you do that very, very regularly, you're going to learn these words very, very well and be able to use them effectively. This is the first of this series, and my intention is to make another 4 videos like this, which will give you in total 50 good pieces of lexicon, vocabulary, that you can easily adapt in some ways. Not all, of course, but some of these will fit in perfectly with whatever you're dealing with in your IELTS or TOEFL. If you want to be reminded when these videos come up, please leave a message, how you found this video. Was it good or bad? Give it the like, and please subscribe and ring the bell. And that way you'll get instant notification as the next one arrives. Thank you very, very much for watching. If you're taking the IELTS and the TOEFL, I wish you every success. Take care and bye for now.